So, thank you so much for joining us here today. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you want voters to know about you?
Oh, sure. My name is Jim Abeler, and this is my town. Look at our main street. I grew up here. I graduated from high school in 1972, and we have our chiropractic practice in town. I own some buildings. And I love Anoka, and I love the area all around. And I've been so privileged in my life. I got to raise 6 sons and get to enjoy all the great things the area has to offer, and good schools, and amazing business people, amazing citizens in the area, and friends. And then I had the privilege to serve 16 years in the Minnesota House. And that was quite a learning experience, but also a way to serve my community and the area. And got away from that for a number of reasons. And then the opportunity came to serve again in the Senate, which is a whole different kind of flavor and a new adventure. But the needs haven't changed. And the businesses still want to be able to succeed and endure the regulation of the state and the city and the county, which can sometimes be overbearing.
What is one thing you hope to bring to your district?
Well, there's a lot of important things. Schools, we mentioned those briefly. The Anoka has an amazing school system, and a lot of kids across the state don't have the privilege of having that quality that Anoka kids get to enjoy. Some kids never graduate. Anoka graduates the most of any district in the state. I know how to bring that and to preserve Anoka's quality, and then help other kids across the state have that freedom. It's actually in the Constitution. We're supposed to provide a fair and good education for all people. So that's heavily on my mind.
What is something that you hope to accomplish while you are in the state Senate?
Well, lots. We have duties, there's 3 constitutional duties: education, public safety, and transportation. The public safety includes the veterans. We better respect our veterans. I've been very active in helping some of those folks with PTSD Minnesota has the highest suicides of all the states for veterans per capita, which is horrible. And I can do something about that. I know what to do. I've actually helped with that already. The whole transportation system defies resolution, but Highway 10 has to get fixed. And I'm going to work on that. I've been working on that for 16 years. We did get the 3rd lane on Highway 10 in Coon Rapids, and so maybe we can get it widened out and make it so people can actually get through here and enjoy all that.
So you spent a number of time in office already. What would you say your number one criticism has been so far from that time, and how would you like to address it?
Well, I tried to not be very critical, because actually if you're working with people, you want to try to have them work in a positive tone and a method. And so I like to work with people. I like to find solutions. I'm always looking for a solution, and I always want to know where I'm trying to get to. And so some people think you can overnight get everything done. I can just go there and stand firm and say no or what, and something will happen. But actually, progress happens in increments, especially when you're working in a divided government, which it's almost always going to be in Minnesota, because we're a divided state. And so how do you work with people? How do you get things done? That's what I've set my mind to, and that's what I'm going to continue to do in the areas of healthcare, where I'm known to be very, very learned, and my career in chiropractic helps understand all that complexity. The whole MNsure debacle, we never needed it. And we've spent hundreds of millions of dollars on that thing to accomplish higher prices and poorer coverage. Really? And so we have to get that squared away. We have to deal with government's on our backs too often. And so how can I help keep government off the backs of your family and our great people on this main street? And the district, just so you know, it's actually 3-bedroom communities in this urban core. And Andover and Ramsey and Coon Rapids are developing, some urban centers, but they're really, people go to work out of those areas. How do we help get them to work safely? How do we help protect the employers who are giving them jobs? How to keep them in Minnesota so the jobs are there? How do we keep Main Street open to attract a much larger daytime population than they have at night in here? And those are all the challenges, but you got to know the area. And I'm from here. I know the people, I know the challenges, I know who to talk to, and when I get back in the Senate, if the people are gracious to send me there, I know who to talk to begin to working on problems from another angle and a different body. And that really gets me excited.
So as you know, your predecessor, Senator Peterson, did sometimes step aside from his own party to vote with what he calls his own principles. Would you be a solid Republican vote, or would you step aside sometimes when you needed to?
Well, actually, the people know me to be independent-minded. And I'm certainly support Republican principles, limited government, freedom, pro-life, and those matters that are so important. But how you accomplish some of those, you want to think about who's here. And so I make my decisions based upon 3 standards: Creator, conscience, and constituents. And I want to draw the party to be that. The people in town here are both parties. Our party is very appealing when we go to our core principles in a nice way and draw people into what if people are in charge of themselves? What if they could be free and enjoy all the opportunities that we have? What if you can think of a business and set it up and it actually works without the whole heavy bureaucracy choking it, which happens all the time? What if you're free to raise your family in the way you see that you choose and worship as you see fit? That's the American dream, and that's what I want to continue to bring in Minnesota, and maybe other states can catch on from our successes here.
I'm sure when you announced running, you got a lot of positive feedback and I'm sure some negative. Do you want to tell us a little bit about both of the things you were hearing?
Well, there's so much positive. It's so encouraging. I go to Menards and 3 people say, "Oh, Jim, I hear you're running." And I say, "Yeah, by the way, there's going to be a special election because Brandon's going to step down on Halloween. And so there'll be the endorsing process and then likely a primary, it sounds like. And then there'll be a special general election. So people want to watch for that. And there'll certainly be news articles and signs and so on. So keep your eyes peeled. But it's been almost all positive. You know, they're in politics. If you have a 60% approval rating, that's amazing. That means 40% aren't happy. My approval rating up here is probably in the 80s or 90s, and of people who know me, and I'm really happy about that. And so that's just blissful in that as people come forward. We had a kickoff party just last week. Over 180 people came, which is an unheard of size kickoff. And so that kind of positive support makes you know I'm on the right track. And so I'd love to serve again. And people, of course, will have a choice when the special elections happen, and I hope they choose me, and because I want to serve and I want to make a difference.
Is there anything else you want voters to know about you?
Yeah, they're free to call if they have any questions. My cell phone is 612-245-3764. And my website is jimabeler.com, A-B-E-L-E-R, jimabeler.com. And they can go there. There's a way to let us know what's on their mind. If they want to volunteer, that's great. They're certainly welcome to donate if they like. But we need their vote, and I need their thoughts, because I am from here. When I do my surveys, I'm hardly ever surprised with what people say about what they think, because I see so many people in my practice and on the streets. But still, their voice matters. And government is the people, if they engage. If they don't engage, government is a bunch of strangers trying to run your life. And that's not what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be us running our own world, making it work, and so main streets across Minnesota can thrive. So schools can teach their kids that can be successful. The healthcare system that actually works. Police and fire that can protect us at any time we need their help on the public safety side. And ambulances, and that's what I want to help happen. So we have the most amazing state and the best country in the world, and that's what I want to work toward, keeping it that way and making it even better.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us.